Peace. Good morning, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. I would definitely like to say good morning to you. I'm trying to get this thing right because it's tripping. Um, yeah, bear with me real quick because this thing is acting crazy. But anyway, like I said, good morning. Today is Friday, August the 5th. And what I want to do is to give my thanks and give my gratitude and show gratitude to you just for being here, because you can be anywhere right now, but you're actually right here with me in this space. And because we're in this space, I want to always show you gratitude 1000%. And I appreciate everything that you do and everything that you're doing. So we're going to close out this week. Just thankful for peace and prosperity. I know everybody's week is different. Everybody's week is going to have its own outcome, but the outcome that you are dealing with is an outcome that I know that you have enough tools to actually survive whatever the week have been for you. So good morning to you. Everyone that's possibly watching it on a YouTube space, or you may be listening to it in a podcast when it's in its rewind perspective. So good morning, Miss Salinas. I thank you for being here. Selena, I put an S on it for some reason. I don't know. Forgive me. We'll blame it on Cumberland County. How some people say mines. You're like, okay, what type of mines are you talking about? But I'll leave that alone because some of y'all still say it. Some of y'all be spelling it too. All right, so let's jump into it. This subject right here is a very interesting subject of spell it out. So it came in from a conversation that I was having this past day, and he actually said two things. And because he said he was going to do a video about it, I said, well, I'm not going to touch it. But he did say he's going to do something with spell it out, because when I heard him say, sometimes you got to spell it out, and I was like, man, that's deep. So I just started writing it down, and I said, spell it out. That's like a place, that's the place that you're in a particular moment. But I'm going to spell it out for you and make it plain. And like always, the things that resonate with you, go ahead and put that thing in the chat, because people who watch it on the replay, they're able to communicate with you even more. So yeah, here we go. Good morning, Miss Anderson. All right, y'all ready? Buckle up. Let's get it. For those that may be new to the platform, you're going to see words and you're going to get definition of the words. Sometimes you'll get a definition of the word where you didn't even know that that's what the definition was. But anyway, we're going to invert the definition. It's either going to be red over white or white over red. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you got to stay in order for you to see what I mean with the inversion of definitions. So spell. The definition of spell, it says to say, write, or print the letters of. It has in parentheses a word or name. To say, write, or print the letters of, sometimes plus out. I don't know what they mean by that, but I just put it in there anyway, because hey, everything that I'm saying, you can look it up. But what we're going to focus on is white over red, which is to say, write, or print the letters. That's to spell it out. And the other definition, it says to name or write it in order the letters constituting. In order, it should have been of. I don't know why they didn't put of in the definition, but you know what I mean. Whatever. To name or write in order of the letters constituting. And I know you're probably like, where is he going with this? Trust me, it's going to come home. To spell, it says to name or write in order of the letters it's constituting. So I had to take constituting out, because I was like, okay, why do they put constitute in the definition of the word spell. And I had to extract that out just to get a much more deeper understanding, because in order to spell it out, you have to have order. It's just like we were in the conversation, and it came about because he said sometimes you have to spell it out to people. You have to spell it out to them because they probably don't understand what you're saying, or they don't even understand where you're coming from. So therefore, you may have to spell it out and to be as clear as possible. So spell it out in the chat, because today we're going to spell some things out. Today we're going to put things in its constitution, because it says to name or write in order of the letters constituting. So therefore there has to be a structure. So now let's go into constitute. It said the definition of constitute is to set up or establish according to law or provision. To set up or establish according to law or provision. The inversion on this is white over red. To set up or establish to law provision. Because if you're spelling something out to someone and you want them to understand what you're saying, you want them to understand where you're coming from, you're going to have to establish the law or establish the provision, so they're not coming at you the same way as they did before, because you're going to have to establish that law. Because the things that you're saying in that moment could then provide provisions to every time that you come about in that space. They already know what it's about. They already know that there is structure. There has to be structure to the conversation, or there may not be any more conversation, because I have established the constitution of who that I am. So now when you're approaching a situation, that's what I mean when I'm saying spell it out. Because without you spelling it out, there is going to always be, or possibly be, a misunderstanding. Because everyone don't always get what you're saying. And sometimes it may be how you're saying it, or it may be how you delivered it. Because the content in what you're saying is probably very true in nature, but sometimes you're going to have to spell it out in order for you to establish the law or the provision. So let's go ahead and begin to take this deep dive in spelling it out. So I'm going to break something down to you right quick. Right? So we have our country, United States. Because remember, we talked about what? The Constitution. Because in order for you to spell it out, it has to be written in order of the letters that it's constituting. Because you can't say write the vision and make it plain and you have misspelled words. So therefore, the blessings that you were striving to go after, it probably won't be reached because you have misspelled words. And you're wondering why things aren't happening in the way that you want it to happen, because you haven't really made it plain yet, because you haven't spelled it out. You didn't put it in the terms that it can be understood in order for that vision to actually have what? Provision established, because the wording was not constituted correctly. Because you did not spell it out. So in America, we have what? We have a Constitution. And in that Constitution, we have 7 articles and 27 amendments. So now let's take it to the body. The body is what? The Constitution. The human body is the Constitution under one character, whatever the character is. We all have characteristics, but the main character is you, the body, the unit, the Constitution. And that body itself has what? 9 body part positions, meaning the head, the arms, the leg, the extremities, all that stuff, the chest. That's the 9 body part positions. You also have 213 bones, 12 body systems, 78 organs and 32 teeth. But that's That's the makeup. That's you spelling out the structure of the body, the constitution of the body. But now, can you begin to tell me what your gifts are? Spell that out. Sometimes you can spell other people out, but you can't even spell yourself. Can you spell out what your morals are? Can you spell out what your goals are? Can you spell out what the vision is? Because it has yet to become plain because you have misspelled something. You have taken the words and the order of the lettering out of its structure of constitution. So now, let's begin to take the process of spelling it out. Let's try to make the vision plain. Because if the writing has always been on the wall, you must understand that there has to be a structure in order for you to understand it. It's kind of like writing on the wall, the apple is red, but you write on the wall, apple is it's not clear. So therefore, there won't be an understanding between the sender and the receiver. There won't be an understanding between your gifts and your purpose. There won't be an understanding between your vision and your mission, because the constitution of the structure of the words is not in order. So therefore, it won't come to pass. So now let's spell it out, R2. Because when you're spelling things out, it actually brings about a form of clarity. Because you want to make it plain and you're writing it down, you're spelling out what your vision is, and now you're understanding what it is because you can actually see it. Because spelling out who you are could actually help you avoid confusion. Spelling out what you want done can actually avoid that same confusion. Making it plain will allow others who was in that particular setting or in that particular group, allow them to learn more about what the vision is in order for them to stay in the constitution of what it's being set in the provisions of what's taking place. It would allow you to speak your strengths and acknowledge where your improvements are, because you seek clarity. Spelling it out allows you to seek that clarity. It also requires instructions in order for you to gradually integrate the information that you've learned about yourself. Because as you begin to learn more about yourself, those things that you have developed, you can integrate it within your strengths. That's like putting new tools in your toolbox. That means you're able to fix more things because you have new tools. And when you seek clarity, seek it in its true and seek it in its light. Because as you seek clarity, it will allow you to learn to listen. Because when you spell it out, that means you're paying more attention. Say like you're having a conversation with someone and that person says, well, let me spell it out for you. On Monday, I want you to do this. On Tuesday, we can do that. On Wednesday, we can do this. On Thursday, you're listening, right? Because in order for you to follow the path, that means that you must have the ability to listen. Just like regular spelling words, it allows you to listen to what? The structure of the words itself. Because if the lettering of the words is misplaced and out of order, then therefore the enunciation will not take place because it is out of order. You can hear it. You listen to it like, you know what? That does not make sense to me. Spell it out to me one more time. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Okay, this is not what I do. Right? Because it allows you to listen, and then that gives you that's when that intuition kicks in. You'd be like, man, that does not sound right to me, because it sounds like it's out of order. the thing that you spelled out, nah, that's not my gift. I can't do it. Because it will teach you how to listen to others. Because when things are being spelled out to you, it would teach you how to close your mouth and open your ears. And when you understand that process, it will then allow you to do what? It will, I went too far forward. It will teach you coping strategies because you're listening. And those coping strategies will allow you to understand what works for you. It allows you to gain insight on how you heal. Because not everybody is going to heal the same. So as you're listening and as you're writing these things out, as you're spelling these things out, it's teaching you how to cope. It's teaching you the strategy of coping. That is allowing you to write these things down. So when you see it again, you have already spelled it out. You have already made it plain for you to acknowledge what the situation is and how to deal with it when it comes about, if it comes again. Right? It learns you how, it teaches you how, it teaches you what makes you tick. Because I am listening and I'm learning and I've spelled it out. I gave it its proper structure. I want to learn more about myself. So I am writing out what my gifts are. I'm writing out what my strengths are. Or if you're in a relationship, let's write out the things that we want, because obviously there has been a new type of structure. So let's write it down. And then when you do that, for some reason, the numbers are out of order, but whatever, it's cool. But it'll also begin to teach you practical instructions, right? Because sometimes those practical instructions are the things that you've learned about yourself in that moment. And you're able to use those things that you've learned about yourself in that moment over and over and over again. But only you know what it is, because you have structured how you spell those things out. So from me to you, don't be afraid to spell it out. Make it plain and ensure that you understand what the mission is for you too. Because when we spell things out, it allows us to see it as clear as day, or to see it as clear as possible. Write out what tomorrow will look like and believe it. So when you get up in the morning, you can look at what you spelled out and say, this is what I want my day to look like, and this is what I'm going to do. Because you've given it structure. You've constituted your day. So as the day begins to unfold, then you have a plan, a clear plan of instruction, because you sat down and you listened to yourself and you made it so clear that you understood what the mission is, because the vision was as clear as possible, because you wrote it out and you made it plain. So spell it out and don't be afraid to do it again, because it will teach you coping strategies on how to be as clear as possible in what you say, and how to be as clear as possible in how you maneuver, just by simply spelling it out. All right, that's all I got. Today is Friday, August the 5th, and I want you to be blessed, to have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday, 7:30. Peace.